Well, hello and good evening. Welcome to another past Randomizer League match. This week 4, it's a mystery seed. What's it going to be? I don't know. You don't know. The racers don't know. We're going to find out together as we go through this. My name is Luma, and I will be joined soon by Neon Tiger. And I'm looking forward to something really good here. From what I can see, we've got an Randomizer seed, and we've got an assured sword. But that's all we know. There's a lot of different things that could happen in this mystery seed. A couple things we'll have to look out for, and we'll find out quickly if it's standard or open, if we get it inverted, if we get normal. But we're not going to know the goal right away. We're going to have to figure that out later by looking at a few signposts in the world. Tonight we got a really interesting match between two teams in the Lake Hylia division. Both are tied for second place. And it's a four-way tie. This is a very good division. One of these teams go into the next week in firm second place. Two Pearl, Two Furious, Scaryolive racing for them, and DukeFireBird representing the Immortals. All right, we're off, and it's a standard where we know the seed is boots until boots. What a helpful hint. Single Arrow of Destiny. With that map check that Scaryolive gave us, we didn't see any crystal, we didn't see any pendants. This is accomplished at the minimum, could be even key sanity. And once we find a map out of one of these chests, we'll be able to see what the prize is for each dungeon. Alright, that sword going to help us out greatly as we go through escape. Without a sword, Uncle would have given us something random. A weapon that would surely help us. Finding some bombs, that's going to be great. You're not going to have to worry about getting a bomb out of the guard pack. And I'd like to welcome Neon Tiger into the booth. Welcome, Neon.
Hello. Sorry about that. My meeting went a little bit longer than I expected, so...
No problem. So we have ourselves here an Randomizer standard assured sword seed so far.
Very cool. And of course, thanks Lumaga for jumping on here, being ready to go from the get-go.
Yeah, one other thing we do have is it's MC Shuffle at best, key sanity at worst. The map check didn't reveal anything for us.
It's always fun to get these alternative game modes here, especially as we start to wrap up week 4 with the mystery seed. I kind of feel like it's really been a bit of a equalizer in some parts because you get to see how good these runners are. And yeah, Scaryolive and Duke obviously are pretty darn good runners. Ooh, that's gonna be tough.
Yeah, both of these runners are good, right? Representing teams, as I mentioned, are in a four-way tie for second in their division. But as you mentioned, it is kind of an equalizer. You do have to be adaptable to whatever the seed is going to throw at you. Gotta grab the princess, Scaryolive.
Yeah, it's one of these things too. maybe a little hard to remember. Can't really blame Scary or Duke if they'd forgotten about the princess. You don't usually see a lot of standard starts in Randomizer. Open seems to be kind of the more popular, I guess you could say, of the two variations there.
I think Ambrose side, you're right. Open is definitely the more popular, or the kind of the more standard as it would be, kind of.
Yeah, I would say a lot of people really do like Open just because there's more things to do right from the get go. There's more to check. Other than but standard isn't too bad. I guess some people just like kind of having more freedom in the first 6 minutes or so.
Sure. Although with the standard opening, there's a little bit of challenge in and of itself. There's a lot of optimization you can do in the beginning, and if you're not really optimizing this escape, you're losing quite a bit of time to your opponent. This is always done in NMG, so of course, practice it very frequently through that.
Ooh, we're kind of a tough Randomizer roomy here with the Hinoxes and the Mini Moldorm, but Duke making it through okay. Oh.
Ouch.
That's a tough one right there with the death. So yeah, Duke's gonna start back off here in the throne room and really just gonna lose the time of those couple rooms that he'd already gone through, and Scaryolive of now making the way up to dealing with the normally would be a rat that has a key, but obviously with Randomizer not so much, and Duke unfortunately taking another fall here. So this is not optimal, but at the same time it's not a run killer at this point.
No, you start off, you don't have to start off at the beginning of Hyrule Castle. This is not like dying at Cold Stare and having to go all the way through the rest of Ice Palace. So it's time that can be made up. It's not the end of the world.
And this is what makes this really tough, is just Green Mail with the Randomizer plus only having 3 hearts. Even Scaryolive here having only down to 1 heart and having to run away from this castle guard. Oh, we got a couple of tough guys in here. Got the trident throwing. Yeah, it's half a heart. You gotta be really careful. This would not be optimal. Should be able to time this out. Actually, that's pretty cool. He got the cannon guard to face away, so that gets him through okay.
So a question in chat about the cannon guards. Those actually are not used in the vanilla game, but they are still in the game's code, and they are used in the Randomizer. So you'll see them in Randomizer, I think, exclusively.
Yeah, it's one of those things. There's a lot of little things in programming that you'll see that get taken out, maybe even last minute, but then they get left in the game code. And those cannon knights are one of those things. I just never, for whatever reason, if it was a last minute subtraction from A Link to the Past, or if it was just something they took out a long time ago and just forgot about it. And yeah, Duke's just having some difficulty with the big old spikes there. Can't say I blame him. That's that pairing there is tough, and of course the blue mail on the outside.
Yeah, if you can make it through this escape, here's your blue mail to help you out.
And a flute as well for Scaryolive, so that's going to be super helpful.
Yeah, especially heading into Kakariko rather than finding it a bit later really opens up the seed for you, at least travel-wise. You got access to a few things in Death Mountain, but you can flute to 7 and 8 real quickly and get those early game chests.
And Duke making it through, so thank goodness. He's not going to have to go through that a fourth time.
Alright, 5 chests here down in Blind's hut. Basement's today holding a few more bombs for us. That'll be nice. 50 rupees, able to pay off that bottle vendor. And a Quake coin. One more chest in the back. More bombs as DukeFireBird makes his way through the sanctuary. Say goodbye to escape.
He will be all too happy to not have to do it again. He'll just be very happy to get out in the world and explore. Again, with us being Randomizer, we don't quite know what traps could lay ahead for our runners with Scaryolive finding that second sword. So, even being a little bit further behind at this point is not necessarily going to mean game over. And a Book of Medora as well.
And a bottle. So we got a bottle in CAC that opens up one more check, but that Book of Medora will open up for us the Desert Palace area, at least the front of it.
And we get half magic as well from the bottle vendor. So, not required, but always a wonderful utility to have, and some thieves having to deal with here. So, Scaryolive going to run around. Thankfully, I think the thieves are killable in Randomizer.
I think in most Randomizer modes I thought they were. Those just seem to bounce back from the sword.
Right.
Yeah, that is not the worst chicken hut that I've seen, of course. This being Randomizer, you can wind up with a lot of dangerous enemies in there. Thieves, probably the least of your concern.
Yeah, they'll just kind of knock you around a little bit and take your items, your bombs and rupees and arrows and whatnot. But certainly not a quartet of ball and chain guards. That would be the ultimate bad one.
Duke his way into Kakariko. I'll finishing out these checks first with a sick kid check for his flippers. Cool. Well, that'll open up a couple more early game checks and back into the tavern.
You get some bombs out of it. They're certainly going to be welcome at this early in the game. A lot of bomb locked locations here to start. Never a bad thing to have them.
No. Now, even with those flippers, there's not nearly enough money for us, so I would imagine we don't see that area until there's a natural path into that. There's a lot of things you could do that are probably higher value than Orfalch and Zora right now.
Cape, though, showing up. Uh-oh. Kind of getting a small sinking feeling there for our runners.
Yeah, that cape plus some master sword. All we need is a lantern. We're looking at possibly, again him. Also,
Yeah.
that early could suggest that there had the opportunity to put progression bumper cave, so we'll have to check that out later.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's kind of the thing that I was worried about, was that, Cape and Master Sword, you're kind of looking at maybe having to go Aga, and you're not going to find all of your Dark World access stuff from the get-go.
Chat point though, once you do go into the Dark World on top of the pyramid, and that pyramid is going to have for us a signpost telling us what's the requirement to game. So different beat a mystery seed. In League, the weights are weighted so that you could do a pistol, or could be a fast Ganon, could be in all dungeons, or could be normal, get the crystal amount and beat Ganon.
Sure could, and it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to have to do an early Aga as long as there's not a bunch of other checks. And there's the boots, so Scaryolive can go fast now.
Pulling out the flute, saving a few screen transitions as he goes to 8.
Not a bad call. Save a little bit of time doing that. The one thing that I think, if you're going to have Aga, you really want to find that lamp super early, just so you know that it's a possibility. You don't want to have a situation where you're one item away from being Aga, or one item away from being not Aga, and then having to go through all of these checks, because you want to be able to make that play as soon as possible. And there is another sword upgrade. We're up to Tempered Sword already.
Well, Scaryolive showing me what's what, and he set up a water walk, checking out some of these areas in the Lake Hylia. See a map out on the island here. Gonna check Hobo. And DukeFireBird also saying no thank you to that cape.
That's a nice setup, though. Getting to quickly get up to Hobo and get a very quick check of the Lake Hylia island. Yeah, chat asking why wouldn't they want the cape. It might not be needed if you don't have to go to Aga. And yeah, you don't want to have to really take the time to go get it, probably. But Scaryolive is actually going to go ahead and make the trip up to the waterfall in the Zora area here. Still short on Zora money, but wonderful to see a check.
Yeah, they could still get the item on the ledge with those slippers. And actually, the cape at this point is only useful for Bumper because the Tempered and Master Sword will both take care of the beam in front of it, in front of the door.
That is true. That would actually be another good reason to go ahead and skip it. And if you did not catch the... Yeah, we are getting a ledge check there. It's a full heart container, but Scaryolive is not going to make the journey for that. But yeah, we saw the bee in the bottle get thrown out, and Scaryolive checking the bottle return, I guess you could call it, fairy, and getting a blue potion out of it. So great value out of that play.
Uh-oh, there's your lamp.
Well, I feel like at this point that the logic is pulling pretty heavily toward Aga.
So Scaryolive actually, I think, going to check out what's up here in the Lumberjack cave before deciding if he wants to do Aga. If there's progression, he's going to make his way there in no time flat.
Yeah, it was 10 arrows. We saw Duke check it a little bit earlier. Yeah, Scaryolive hasn't been up there yet. So we might see still Scaryolive at the latest a little bit, just to check some of these other locations, and actually heading on over to Desert Palace. This is within logic now. We have the lamp and the book, so we can get inside. And with the boots, that means that if the big key is hiding, or the small key even is hiding up on the torch, that we're good to go. And it looks like Duke is also heading over to Agina, probably thinking the same thing.
Yep, only difference here is that Duke doesn't have a fire source, so can't fully complete it. But Scaryolive we'll figure out what the prize is after Landmalus. Could be, well, actually, I say Landmalus. We'll call it the boss for now. This is Randomizer. It could be
Right.
any boss, really.
That's absolutely correct. We could have all kinds of fun boss shuffles. So we'll have to see here. Even if it is Landmalus, it could still be a boss shuffle later on. So
That's true. There's no guarantee that it's not. I'm getting ahead of myself. These runners don't have gloves, so still locked in the back.
Oh, good point. Yes. Here's the Kinburna. And yep, there's that big key. So it was Boots Lock Dungeon. Oh.
Well, it's a big. This is still key sanity.
Oh yeah, it's true.
But no. This is. I'm sorry. MC Shuffle. So this is not
Yes.
key sanity.
Right. Ooh, there's Moon Pearl. Which is one step away from Aga, but is still not the not Aga required that we're looking for.
I would argue the opposite. It is one of the things that's needed to abandon the Aga thought, Moon Pearl Hammer and Glove, but we don't have two of those.
Right.
And we have enough to go to the Dark World if we beat Aga. That may very well be the Dark World access.
That's a good point. That could, if it's not up on the pyramid ledge, that could certainly be another hint that maybe you should go to the Dark World through the Aga portal, because that would allow you to have the ability to go ahead and go into Palace of Darkness next, if you so chose to.
Mm-hmm. We still have all of the eastern area. There could be, several of those nice items over there in Sahala or in Eastern.
And Duke's going to fly over to 8 here and do some of these checks. It looks like that we've seen Scaryolive do, but Scaryolive is going to go up to the mountain and rescue the old man, see if the old man has something. This is well within logic. You have the lamp and the flute, so we can get up here and go through the back.
At minimum, it's a very valuable safe point, even if there is junk from the old man.
Absolutely. It's great to have this save point just because it saves you a trip of having to go out of Sanctuary or your house and then having the flute to get up there. You could just kind of directly go there. And you had a glove. How about that?
Well, there's your glove. There's your access to the boss of Desert Palace. But first things first, let's finish out some of these Death Mountain checks. Rupees on top. I'm sorry, 5 rupees in Spectacle Rock, and on top we have another 50. No access to the east, so we're out of here for now, and on to the eastern area.
Now, obviously, this is going to be very interesting for Scaryolive, just to see how deep he's going to go into Eastern Palace here.
That's right. This Randomizer actually does not need the bow to get all the way back. In Randomizer, the enemies that would normally require you to have the bow, either the Red Igors or the Mimics, are not present in those those rooms. So he could very well go to the boss.
Absolutely. And we could get our first little hint of if we've got a boss shuffle, and perhaps even what kind of boss shuffle we might have. And Duke looking to also head over to Eastern, but going to go to, looks like Sahasrahla first.
Ice Palace is our green pendant today. Oh, and there's our hammer and a map of Eastern Palace, so we'll know right away what our prize is going to be.
I think we also pretty much just killed Aga there. And it's a crystal at Eastern Palace, 7 crystal.
Yeah, that is certainly the death of Aga. I think we called it earlier that we might get those other utility items in the eastern area. We did get one of them, and Scaryolive, on his way to get that crystal, picked up the big key earlier. Let's see what this chest is, just bombs.
It's a little funny there, you know. See, just like trolling you, be like, oh, you might need to go to Aga. Might need to go to Aga. Might need to go to Aga. Nope, don't need it. Unless it's an alt. I never know. It could be an alt dungeon seed, perhaps, at some point. So yeah, if it's all dungeons, we're still going to have to go to Aga, but if not, then you don't have to worry about visiting Aga 1 tonight.
Yeah, and if it is all dungeons, actually, Aga 1 will likely be the very last boss that we see.
Yep.
You get to the pyramid just after you beat Aga 2, mirror back over to Aga 1, and then finish out the Ganon fight.
And a death warp here from Scaryolive. And then back out. Lamp was in Bonk Rocks, for those wondering in chat. Lamp was in Bonk Rocks, and the old man up on the mountain had the first progressive glove. And Scaryolive about to pick up that hammer. Green pendants at Ice Palace.
Alright, looks like we're going to head to the Dark World, starting with the Southern Dark World. Now that Scaryolive has that hammer, has that glove, probably Hype Cave first.
Yeah, it's usually a pretty good play here. Go to Hype Cave, and then from here we'll figure out where to go depending on what we get here in Hype Cave itself.
I think regardless of what you get, you're going to go to the pyramid, and you're going to check the goal.
That's a good That's a good point. Yes. So we'll probably see them go over to pyramid, as you said, Umaga. Check the goal, and then we might see some strategy. And there's the hook shot. So we do now have access to the rest of Dark World. So that will be a welcome sight here for Scaryolive. Not only access to the rest of the Dark World, but we will have access up the Tower of Hera as well.
Access to Hera, access to all of Eastern Death Mountain. And interesting note, Scaryolive took a death in Eastern Palace, got out of there, possibly because he doesn't have the bow, while DukeFireBird may recognize that doesn't need that bow and Randomizer towards the back.
That is true. So maybe Scaryolive just deciding that having the opportunity to check a few more locations and see if that opens anything up, perhaps being the play that they want to make.
Yeah, a lot of reasons he could have gone out of there, not gone back. But today, we're going to see our goal is you need to defeat all of
dungeons.
Ganyon's bosses.
Yep.
All right, it is all dungeons.
So Aga is indeed required. The seed was telling us that. And there's the second progressive glove, the Titansmiths, up on the pyramid.
Well, this seed opened up really quickly with that hook shot and those Titans mitts.
Absolutely. And it is boss shuffle. We do have a viddy here. And Duke's going to use the Cannaberna plus the Tempered Sword to do a little bit of damage to eyeballs. With that blue potion, we'll also have pretty good time. Also going to be using the sword dashes. This is pretty nice too because of the fact that if Vitreous appears outside of its dungeon, you do get the ability to basically walk up to it and smack it in the face without having to worry about getting chunked down standing too close there.
Yeah, so this tells us it's at minimum full boss shuffle. You could see all bosses at least once, and then we'll see 3 of them twice. If we see any boss a 3rd time, we know that it's Chaos Shuffle.
Yep. Scaryolive is actually going to, I think, head up to Paradox Cave here. Yeah, it looks like the play with that hookshot in hand. Thinking about those 7 locations on the Light World side of Death Mountain, plus the locations that are going to be on the Dark World side as well are both open. So
we've got all of Hookshot Cave. We've got you can get some intel on the Turtle Rock Medallion, and you can't quite do Spike Cave at this point, but well, actually, he does have half magic, has a Cannaberna. Yeah,
and
he
the blue
can do
potion. Yeah, he can do it. So yeah, it's almost a full Death Mountain clear possible for Scaryolive at this point.
Yeah, only thing you can't because there's no mirror.
Right. We'll get to check it at least, so we'll get to see if it's even worth worrying about. And also, nice magic powder. I was gonna say, the manga, we did get a check of the bomb shop vendor by Scaryolive to reveal the 5-6 crystals, which are at Desert Palace and Skull Woods.
All right, so with that knowledge in hand, I'm trying to... What does that limit us to in terms of Pyramid Fairy? Maybe still a little bit early to tell, but we know at least... no Fire Rod or Bamos there, one or the other.
Correct. Yeah, definitely no Fire Rod because the fact that we had, we still need that to get to the back of Skullwoods anyways. And just a big 20 up on Ether Medallion tablet.
Well, our big key is in the basement.
Yep.
But we're not going to worry about that today. We're going to set up a Herapod by hooking off those blue pegs and lining up just right to hook into this pot.
Yeah, Scaryolive realizing as they were setting it up, they didn't quite have it, so they backed out. Just trying to get it. Great spot here.
Pixel over. There he is.
Ooh, it's having a little bit difficult getting this set up, but
there's quite a bit of risk reward in here. So the risk is you're missing the big key, and you will not be able to get that big key chest. I'm sorry, the big chest. But the reward, of course, is you're skipping the basement and at least one floor in Tower of Hera.
Mhm.
Now, this is, I think, his fourth attempt, so he's losing a little bit of the value.
Yeah, at this point. But I really just think that he doesn't want to. I think he wants to bet that he'll pick up the second item somewhere else besides the big chest. Because we know we've seen the first item. It's in the downstairs room there. It was a big 20. Well, Duke is heading on over to Pod.
You know, early Pod's always nice. He's missing here is a bow, but he has a bottle to make his through the bow lock chests. Can't get the boss just yet, but there's a lot of items in here he could pick up.
Yep. Yeah, Scaryolive is still just kind of barely missing that Hera pot here.
Yeah, at this point, he probably could have picked up that big key.
Yeah, he's just gonna go ahead and say enough with that. I'm just gonna go. I'll go do it the way I want. I should have done it in the first place. One of the nice things, too, of course, about this being Randomizer is those enemies change, too. The mimics go away, and instead, in that case, we got some nice little floaty friends to help us out.
Yeah, let's just recap here what the settings of this are. We know that it was a standard Assured Sword Randomizer. We do have a tempered sword, so we're not on expert. We could still be hard. Actually, I take that back. We found a blue mail. We are on a normal setting, and it is at minimum a full boss shuffle randomizer. Also,
Yes.
map compass shuffle.
Yes, map compass shuffle, all dungeons. At least the full boss shuffle randomizer. So quite a bit of things to take in here, and Scaryolive now with that big key in tow will be heading up to the top here. Let's at least, I should say, it's at least we know it's full boss. Could be chaos. And it's certainly within the realm of possibility.
Well, there's our second item out of that big chest, and it's a bow. So Scaryolive, kind of lucked out by not succeeding on the Hera pot. Could have missed out big time on the bow.
Yeah, that would have been a huge, huge problem if it turns out that, we need that bow for something. And obviously we would need that because we still need that to get access into Palace of Darkness.
That Moldorm is very unsettling with all those eyes.
Yeah, 7-9 Moldorm today.
Just a pendant, but all dungeons need it anyway. That's an unfortunate big spike. You know what would have helped? The cape that they skipped in the race game. But there's a Cane of Berna, so that'll let him pass.
So chat asking, how do we know it's all dungeons? Because there's we checked the sign up on the pyramid, and the pyramid said we have to beat all the bosses, which means that we have to go into the dungeon. And Spiral Cave holds a fire rod.
All right, so there's our Skull Woods access. Didn't quite see if Duke picked up anything important in the basement, but not having the lamp that is hidden in bucks is still in logic, technically.
That's going to be a bit tough with the... I was going to use Quake. I like this play, actually.
Yeah, just clear out some enemies that aren't just the Kodongos. Could be pretty much anything. And a dark room in Randomizer is very scary, especially with a half a heart now. Oh.
Yep, and there was something there. Could have easily been a spike or something that was just hiding out, waiting in the dark. I believe that was Ether for Turtle Rock.
It was really quick. I didn't get a chance to check it fully, but our tracker agreeing with you that it is Ether.
Yeah, it looks a little bit like the lightning bolt pattern.
Shout out again to our tracker, Tabby Cat. Thanks for doing a very important job for us here on the restream.
Absolutely. Not only for us, but for the viewers as well, so that if you happen to be just joining us at the just under the 40-minute mark, 40 minute. I almost said 40-hour mark. I'm like, oh gosh, what kind of terrible speed is this? Yeah, if you're just joining us, obviously we got our tracker down there, so you know what each runner's got, which dungeons each runner has done so far, and of course we are still very early in this game.
I want to welcome everybody joining us from Speed Gaming 3. We got a great match here between Scaryolive and DukeFireBird. Randomizer Seed, all dungeons, and Assured Sword standard opening. And Map Compass Shuffle to boot. Welcome, everybody.
Yep. And it looks like we did get a check, and it's going to be all 7 crystals for GT access. So, very unlikely that there's any go mode or required items hanging out in GT, unless for some reason we need something to get one of the pendants.
Yeah, it could have been much worse. If this were a 3 crystal Ganon's Tower, then chances are progression is, very likely in there. But at 7, you can hold off.
Yeah. As I just mentioned, if it's a pendant required item for one of our pendant dungeons, one of the remaining dungeons like Ice Palace, or whichever one is left, that's a pinning. If it's say it's Bombos, and Bombos is in there, and you need Bombos to get into Mire, that could be a theoretical situation where we run across that.
Alright, and here's DukeFireBird's lamp in the Bonk Rocks as Scaryolive heading into Pod. With that bow, can get the Igor statue hit with the arrow, and we can see what the boss is.
Yeah, so far we've seen Moldorm in Moldorm's vanilla location up in Tower of Hera. We've seen Vitreous replacing the Armos Knights in Eastern. I feel like chat has inspired me with a new game mode idea. Instead of Randomizer, what about Lionelizer? We just replace all the enemies in the game are just Lionels now.
I could think of a worse one. Dead Rocks. Lionelizer, though, I don't know. It would be an interesting option to replace all of the enemies with one specific type of enemy, whatever it may be.
It would be kind of funny.
Alright, after clearing out the village of Outcast, Firebird into Thieves Town. 4 chests in the front, one of which will be the big key. Now, I know Duke did go to Hype Cave because he does have that hook shot. I don't recall if he went up to the pyramid to see what the goal was. Did you see that?
He did.
Oh, he did. Okay.
He got the he also got the second
Titans. Titans events are
yep,
up there.
second glove. Yep. He's gonna run straight to the back. And hey, there's a Moldorm.
Alright, our second of 2 Moldorms. If we see one more, we know that it's Chaos, but looks like it might be full.
That's true.
Chat correcting me a little bit that since there are already 2 Armos, Landmos, and Moldorms in the game, simple is still a possibility. Once we see a second, say, Vitreous or a repeat Dark World, then we know it's at minimum full.
Correct. So we still have some kind of boss shuffle. We're just trying to figure out what. And hey, there's Argus showing up in Palace of Darkness, and that will be welcome sight for Scaryolive here. Because with the hook shot, we'll be able to make pretty quick work of this.
Yeah, and going all the way through Palace of Darkness, but did find it in Hookshot Cave, and with that tempered sword, able to take out the puffs really quickly.
Yep, and we did get a little bit of intel from Duke's side that Thieves Town's a crystal. So is Pod.
Alright, so we know Eastern Desert, Pod, Hera. We are just missing Swamp Palace, Misery Mire, and Turtle Rock for intel.
Yep. So more likely than not, I would expect if we do have to go into GT for a item to clear, it's going to be an item that's probably one of the medallions or perhaps even Ice Rod if it's Trinex in TR. We don't know that yet though.
Alright, Scaryolive taking his fire rod into the Dark World. Has the chance to go to Skull Woods at this point. And up to the Lost Woods in the Dark World he goes. Alright, last of the checks in Thieves Town is this big chest. Having already done the boss, no mirror to escape, so either take a death warp or take the long way out.
I think Duke's going to go the long way out. And hey, Speed Gaming 4, thank you so much for the raid as well. 139 of you joining in. Welcome to the just about the 49-minute mark here in this match between Scaryolive and DukeFireBird. Both teams doing very well, 15 points as we wrap up week 4 here. So yeah, just to very quickly put this in the context here for the Lake Hylia division, which is where these two teams are both located at. It is a very, very stacked division. 2 Pearl, 2 Furious at 5-2, which is Scaryolive's team, and Immortals also at 5-2, Duke's team. Both teams in a 4-way tie for second. Only 3 points behind Puck Trio.
Yeah, looking at the rosters of these teams in the Lake Hylia division, I think it is one of the most competitive and one of the most maybe stacked divisions in all of the league. And the standings kind of show that, as you mentioned.
Absolutely. When you take a look at these teams, there's a number of very, very notable runners that people would recognize without a doubt. If you take a look at this, just taking a look at the roster, it's very impressive that all of these runners have all ended up in the same division, and it's kind of a thing where you want to see a lot of these teams go on, but not everyone's going to get the chance to go on to the playoffs here when this is all said and done. So someone's going to be sitting at home and they're going to be like, wow, we had a really good team where we're not even in the playoffs. This is crazy.
And week 4, right, we're at the point where you can start kind of conceptualizing the playoff picture. We only have 3 weeks left, and there's a lot of teams that are very likely to get in, and some that are on the bubble. So it's going to be an interesting last few weeks. As Scaryolive, by the way, taking on Armos in Skull Woods for that second crystal, 3rd dungeon here.
Absolutely. And just as a very quick diversion, this is a very competitive division, but it's not the most competitive division, I would say. Hyrule Castle division has the top 6 teams are separated by 3 points, including a 4-way tie for first place. So
that's insane.
Yep.
The parity among some of these teams is just crazy.
I think it's one of the interesting things about this is I suspect a lot of these teams that are all kind of still up at the top here, we're going to see some of these matchups come up where splitting a week is going to be one thing, but if you can 2-0 a team 1 week, it's going to be a backbreaker for them, and it's going to be really tough to recover.
And with the way that the league is set up, the first 2 weeks and even to some extent the 3rd week, you can kind of see, how the strongers might have a leg up. But once you hit mystery, you hit cross keys, and even in the 6th and 7th weeks, you're working with a teammate Almost. So nothing is a given in this league. Nothing's a given in any match.
Absolutely. And I think that's what I like about it is you can look at a team, or you can look at some of these teams, and even in this division, and say, wow, so and so's definitely going to be, so and so based on the matchup. But with the way things go, just not only with the randomizer, but with just how much variance there is in some of these game modes, it's certainly going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out. And there's no guarantees that any team is really going to be playoff bound yet, or any team's going to be out of the playoffs perhaps yet. Some teams might be a little bit closer at this point, but still, it's still pretty open.
Yeah, so both of our runners, by the way, now have picked up that mushroom and skullwood. So one more check that we could make as we make our through the rest of this. I'm just trying to map out where the rest of the value lies. We've already seen some of the smith chain. We don't have a mirror. We can't do, an easy K45, and we did see dig game. So I'm just trying to work out what's the next move to these runners.
That's a good point to make, Lumaga. Obviously, without the mirror, we also don't have that access in the Swamp Palace, and that is 6 items that we're not going to find quite yet. Gosh, it's really a question of, I don't know, where do you think the value is if you're a runner? You can't get in the Turtle Rock, so you can't check those chests yet. We don't have the medallion we need unless we find Ether here shortly. We've seen Thieves Town. We've seen. I would imagine Scaryolive will probably go into Thieves Town at this point, simply because of the fact that they're here. Yep, they might as well.
You could check out the Meyer area with the gloves and the flute.
Right.
At least see what medallion it is, and if it is Quake, you do have access with that hookshot and the boots, but can't clear it without the Cane of Samaria. I think the only one you could really go for is Desert Palace or Ice Palace, and I don't think they'll do Desert Palace until they have Misery Mire access.
Right. So the question really would be, we're gonna get a bumper cave check here from Duke. It looks like. What's up on there? Ooh, it's silvers.
And a no thank you to that one too.
It's not necessarily required, but you kind of wonder though if with that early cape, maybe the intended bow for the logic, or at least the logic you would look for when you get the spoiler log, would have you getting that cape and then going up and getting the bumper cave bow instead of getting the one out of Tower of Hera.
Yeah, that's actually interesting, because we could have then done Harapot, which would have made us skip that first bow. Our first and only bow would have then been on Bumper Ledge.
Oh, Duke's going to get it. But also want to say hello, Speed Gaming 6, and the 30 people that have come over in this raid. Welcome. We are at, this is the third raid we've had already. That's what we get for having the last match tonight. But welcome. We're at 57 minutes in. Scaryolive versus DukeFireBird. 2 Pearl, 2 Furious, and then Immortals, both at 15 points here. Very, very interesting matchup so far.
Yeah, interesting settings, kind of an interesting progression so far. Why doesn't everybody go ahead and give these runners a follow? Scaryolive and DukeFireBird are doing a bang-up job, giving us a great show this evening. And, give these runners a follow. It's always hard to put yourself out there. Also, shout out to our tracker, Tabby Cat, and, of course, my co-commentator, Neon Tiger, helping me out here on the comms.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think he's gonna go up there and get the bow. This will be the bow for him, but he's gonna probably have silvers as a result, unless we see a Harapot. And that could come into play later, depending on what we find in other dungeons.
Yeah, Scaryolive did spend a lot of time attempting that Hero Pot, so it's time that DukeFireBird may be able to make up pretty easily.
Yep. I forgot for a moment that Duke hadn't actually been up the Tower of Hero, so it doesn't have that other bow yet, but it's on the way. We're going all dungeons tonight, so that is certainly a possibility. And Cape is at the maze race. Both runners know that it is there, so if Scaryolive decides to go get it, we will know that Scaryolive wants those silvers. But I can also foresee a situation where Scaryolive is just like, yeah, thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think already having that first bow and getting through at least the required part in Pod is going to lead him to think, no, I'm going to spend the time doing something else. But DukeFireBird also may end up saving Tower of Hera till he's in go mode, right? And then can get right into Ganon's Tower, do that as his last dungeon, get into Ganon's Tower, and then do Aga 1 before doing Ganon. So there's a little bit of play at work here.
Yeah, this is a very interesting strategy on both runners' behalves. Duke's going to go check out Meyer, so we're going to get a little bit of a peek into what is Meyer access at this point. Quake. So we have Meyer access. That it is completable now. Well, it is accessible, I should say. We still need Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, we do need the red cane there.
The Duke's gonna go in. Can't say I don't blame him for at least opening it up, maybe peeking inside here. Never know what you're gonna find.
You could find a vanilla or French vanilla Samaria. It's not likely, but it could happen.
Oh, certainly could happen. You could find something else as well that leads you to a good decision. And powdered bat is only going to be 10 arrows for Scaryolive. And the stun prize is only going to be a single rupee.
And here's the Ice Palace play for Scaryolive, which makes a lot of sense. It's one of the few dungeons that's fully completable.
Mm-hmm. I have to say it's not a bad play at all. Ooh. Interesting.
A quick refill on bombs, at least bombs. You did get the arrows too, but just to make sure you get that bomb jump and you have sufficient bombs.
Yeah, it's also we don't normally see that cave very much outside of entrance shuffle. Yeah, the goal for tonight is going to be all dungeons, so you're going to get a full dungeon scorecard tonight.
Alright, the Gibdos, which take about as many hits as the Pingligators, go down just as easily with a Fire Rod.
Yep, and we don't have Cane of Samaria, so we're not going to get to see Icebreaker here on Scaryolive side. This is one of the newer glitches that the Race Council has okayed for the remainder of the tournament.
Duke using the lamp, he has not been up to Death Mountain, I think, at all.
Nope.
Aside from that old man rescue to get the gloves. So he did not get that out of Spiral Cave.
Yep, he hasn't been up there for the Fire Rod in Spiral Cave or up the Tower of Power, which would net the silver arrows with a full clear of the dungeon. Something to do it the old-fashioned way here. And Scaryolive getting Ice Palace Bomb Jump as well.
Love it.
It's always so sad. I think that's one of the more satisfying tricks to learn in the game is when you get that first try. It feels really nice.
I think aside from Silverless Ganon, it's probably the trick that most runners should learn.
It saves so much time. It's really easy to execute once you know how to do it and what to look for. It becomes pretty darn easy to get automatic.
Alright, still on the hunt in Misery Mire for a Cane of Samaria. We do have a couple checks left, the shooter room and the big chest, before we gotta abandon this.
We get the big key at least, so that will open that up. No, that is required, though. The Ether Medallion.
Yeah, so that's gonna get you into Turtle Rock, at least into the first room. Still need that cane to progress.
Right. That will get you right now only into the first room, at which point you will stare across the large chasm, and unless you're Mentos Man, that is all you are doing.
You can check the hint tile if you're really curious.
That's true. And Tabby Cat mentioned they could hover. That's why I said unless you're Mentos, he'll do it. But I don't know about anyone else.
Yeah, Triple Dog dare you to hover all of Turtle Rock.
There's the Cane of Samaria. It's in the Freezor room in Ice Palace. So Scaryolive picking up Cane as well. That's going to be a good play.
Yep, still going to need to go into Misery Mire to get that Ether Medallion. But he can full clear it once he makes the trip.
Yeah, I think that's what makes it a pretty nice and efficient play here for Scaryolive. Is it's going to be Cane, and then who knows if we find the mirror somewhere. Oh, Duke. Just missing out.
Oh, that's right. He did go back this way. I thought it looked familiar, but took a death in the pod maze before finishing it out. And also did not have the bow to finish out the boss.
Scaryolive going to open up that big chest here for a big 20.
That should do it.
He's getting Death Warp. I think they get back to the beginning. Maybe? He's setting it up.
Just setting it up, yeah.
Okay.
That mirror, having the mirror is such a thing you take for granted at this point.
Yep. Meanwhile, Scaryolive heading on down to the Ice Palace boss room, and it's going to be, drumroll, Helmasaur. So that simple shuffle, still a possibility.
Nice quick boss fight.
And a small key. Here's that green pendant that Sahasrara told us about.
Alright, so if it is simple though, it is possible that Trinex could be down in the Ice Armos, and you may not actually get to him if the Ganon Tower Big Key is early enough. So you may not actually need the Ice Rod in this setup.
Yeah, that's a very interesting possibility, and certainly one that is within the plausibility of a simple boss shuffle here. And Scaryolive looks like it's going to head back up to finish off Eastern Palace.
Waste no time with those puffs.
Very nice and very clean fight there from Duke. You get that crystal.
Alright, still quite a competitive race. We got 3 crystals for Duke, and then 3 plus 2 pendants for Scaryolive, both of which are actually quick dungeons to get through, especially if you can go mode Ice Palace.
And Duke's heading on up to the mountain, so I think this is our long-awaited mountain play here from Duke. So should be picking up all of the things that Scaryolive has had for a bit, and this will be good. This will give Duke the opportunity to go ahead and clear out some more dungeons. I suspect we'll see him go to the Dark World Turtle Rock portal before all is said and done. Probably after Tower of Hera completion.
Yeah, not having the mirror, you're going to do the rest of Light World first. I guess Spiral Cave included, and then you'll do Dark World.
That would make the most sense, I think.
Alright, another crystal pick up for Scaryolive.
Yeah, it'll be number 4. So we're still looking for Mirror. We're still looking for Ice Rod. And that's really about it.
That is definitely it. Ice Rod's a strong possibility. Not assured, and between the 2 of them, they do have Turtle Rock. Ether being in Misery Mire and Samaria being in Ice Palace. You know what we do on Desert Palace? Wondering if we can get a mirror over there in Landless or on Pyramid Ferry.
Duke's just gonna go save quite a bit of time here, just deciding not to even try the hair pot. Gonna go straight to the basement.
Which likely means he'll pick up his silver arrows on the way.
Yep. Which will be very helpful. The Scaryolive likely gonna go into pod here. Not pod, but Misery Mire.
Yeah, here comes the hook.
And there's the silvers.
One more down for DukeFireBird. Just give a quick recap. I think we got several new people in here. We do have an Randomizer. Seed, we've got an all dungeons map compass shuffle. Started off with standard and assured sword, so not too terrible of a start, although Randomizer did give a little bit of trouble in escape.
Yeah, I put a couple of large spikes right before you get to the triple chest room.
And DukeFireBird blazing through the spiral cave. He'll pick up his fire rod at the end. And that'll do it for his light work. He'll be doing his Dark Death Mountain check soon. think there was anything too important in Dark Death Mountain, but with the density, it makes perfect sense for Duke to take it. Still on the hunt for that mirror and possibly Ice Rod, as we don't know where Trinex is going to be,
Correct.
but do need that mirror to get into Swamp Palace.
Scaryolive about to get the ether medallion that Duke picked up a little bit earlier.
And will give us a little bit more information as we get to see the boss of Misery Mire. DukeFireBird not having had the Cane of Samaria earlier. Scaryolive did find a nice palace, so we're going to go all the way to the end.
And we'll get to see what is in Viddy's place tonight.
Yep, evidence is pointing towards simple. We have seen 2 Moldorms, but still could be a full. But
Yep.
like I said, could be simple.
Ooh, Spike Cave check from Duke. We have not seen this yet, I believe.
I think Scaryolive had done it.
Did
Yeah.
Scary? Oh yeah, Scary may have done it.
It wasn't anything progressive.
Yeah, you're right. Correct. So now where does Duke go from here? Very interesting to see. Is this Ice Palace play?
Yeah, Duke's probably going to hit Ice Palace. There's very little for him to do.
It's another Moldorm. That's 3.
That is 3 Moldorms, so we are looking at a full boss shuffle. Rather, is that...
Chaos.
That's chaos.
Yes. I was about to say that's that confirms we are in chaos shuffle mode. We may not need that ice heart after all, or we may need it a lot.
Oh no. Yeah, may all of your bosses be Moldorms.
We'll just throw that in the pile of terrible ideas that we've had tonight. All bosses are Moldorms, and all enemies are now mini Moldorms.
Hey, I'd play that.
Hookshot OP, please nerf. Moth in every dungeon, and the Skullwoods boss is 2 Moldorms. I mean 2 Mothulas. Duke setting up a death warp back to the start here.
You had to be careful because the enemies did block the door just
Yeah.
as he was setting it up.
Yeah, that almost ended up being an accidental early death warp. Just trying to set that up and got a little too close for comfort, but made it all right. Meanwhile, Scaryolive is now heading back into Desert Palace, the back half.
Did we see both items here in Desert Palace? We saw the Moon Pearl.
Yes,
Okay.
I think we saw both items. I'm
I'm
not
just trying
100% sure.
I'm just trying to place
Ooh.
where could that mirror be. Oh my gosh, these guards.
Yeah, that's a pretty nasty room right there with all those guards.
Silver arrows
Yes.
cutting through almost like nothing.
There's Mothula, by the way. Much easier Mothula fight. Yep, there's this. There we go. Another crystal for Scaryolive. So one of the things that I believe we had this discussion last night is that if you get Armos Knights in a boss shuffle in that Skullwoods boss room, if the red Armos Knight, if you get him to jump out of the room, it'll auto kill itself.
I think I saw a clip of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were talking about that last night as a possibility.
There's a lot of interesting behavior that happens in boss. Helmosaur in the Mothula room, he doesn't move, but his tail just spins out of control.
Yeah, it turns out that the game does a lot of weird things when you tell it to do things it's not programmed to do. Never would have guessed that.
Yeah, things that were never intended. Meanwhile, Scaryolive heading up towards Turtle Rock. We're going to get a look into there. May not very well need that ice rod after all. With this being chaos, you may never see a Trinex in this seed. Chad bringing up a good point. With the way that the pendants and crystals are laid out, we don't know if Swamp and TR. Well, there we go. TR is a crystal, so that makes Swamp our last pendant, doesn't it?
Yes, and
Okay.
that does mean
so
that.
then Pet is dead.
Yep. But it does mean that the hope that Mirror could be hiding out in GT is alive.
Very true. So you may actually see a Ganon's Tower big chest play, which you don't often see in a normal seed.
I feel like the happy thing that chat would love is to see it on the final chest after you beat the third boss refight. Go all the way up the tower and get your mirror. And that's just mean.
Oh gosh. Yeah, because they don't move. Well, at least their base doesn't move.
That's just some mean placement there by the seed.
Alright, finally with enough money for Zora, which we didn't have last time. Let's go see what he's got for sale today.
There's the ice rod, by the way. It's on the right side of Turtle Rock.
Alright.
And that will completely kill off Pedestal now. So we are mirror away from commode. as Duke looks to be headed into Ice Palace.
Good move. Gotta pick up his Canis and Mario to finish out both Misery Mire and Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I feel like at this point we can kind of say that Scary is in the lead.
Oh, definitely. He does have full control here.
Yeah, simply because of I think just making it's not necessarily anything that Duke has done poorly. It's simply that Scaryolive seems to be choosing to go into the right dungeon at the right time, and that seems to be finding the chain of progression easier. So instead of having to double dip into some of these dungeons or check things later than Scaryolive like Duke had to do, he's just been able to kind of power through each one.
So that was such a cute little bunny sprite, the Metroid that Zero Suit Samus turns into.
Indeed, it's the baby. Somewhere out there, some Metroid fans are like screaming at me for mentioning that. But yeah, Scaryolive doing a pretty good job here of just getting through these dungeons in one go, and that's really where a lot of this time save is coming from.
No Mimic Cave check today, no mirror.
Yeah, and we know it can't be there, so no reason to check it. If it's your Go mode item, no reason to check mirror locked locations looking for something that can't be there. If it is there, we've got bigger problems.
Yeah, so things we haven't really checked. We've got it can't be Pedestal. Could be Trinex, could be Laser Bridge, could be Ganon's Tower for all we know.
Yep. So we'll see here. We're gonna get a couple of these checks pretty quickly as far as Turtle Rock boss, I guess we should say, instead of Trinex. Because technically it could be oh gosh, a roller showing up there. There it is.
There you
okay. And Scaryolive is just gonna book it out of there. 131.13 in go mode. We'll not be heading up to GT quite yet. Probably gonna do Swamp Palace, I assume. Or maybe we'll do GT first and then do Swamp Palace later. I could see that actually as a play as well.
Yeah, because doing GT first would put you at the pyramid,
Right.
which would put you in a great position for AGA 1. You still got to do Swamp Palace, so I'm not sure if it makes sense to do it before or after.
Yeah, I mean, you could make the case either way, I think. And there's Armos Knight, so that does kind of confirm that we're on Chaos. Not actually confirm we're wouldn't have confirmed we're on Chaos Shuffle. The third Moldor, of course, but there's two Armos Knights in a simple shuffle as well. Yeah, the one thing it would save is it would save a climb back up the mountain, which is why I could see Scaryolive just going to GT right now, rather than having to climb back up the mountain and then go,
Right. And when you
Go through
do
all
save and quit in the Dark World after beating Aghanim, it will take you to the pyramid anyway. So
Right.
probably best to do that.
Right. So yeah, Oath just posted in chat what I was kind of thinking here: GT to Aga to Swamp Palace, then back up, and save and quit back up to the pyramid. That makes a ton of sense. That's very efficient, and we've already seen Scaryolive has done quite a bit of efficient play, so I assume that would be very much the thing. Oh, yes, well, we completely missed out on the fact that while we were debating that the key guessing game. Whoops.
Yeah,
Sorry about
you
that,
dropped the
everybody.
ball. Sorry,
Yeah.
Chad, but get your guesses in anyway.
Indeed.
That is quite an interesting sprite choice for that enemy. Look at that.
That is the game doing weird things.
Just wigging out on you. It had
Oh yeah.
Samus's sprite head. It had the duck in there. Jeez.
Yep. That was bizarre. It was like some weird Samus duck hybrid.
All right, so there's 3 at least.
Yeah.
We can at least keep count if we didn't start the game.
Right. I think part of it too was that we weren't necessarily expecting to possibly find the everything come together so quick there. So. All right, we're up to 5. There's 6 is the butter sword. 7 is a small key. So if Samus is the duck, it means Samus floats. Rowdy Roddy Sniper getting the correct reference to that. Samus is a witch.
Alright, chest number 9. This previous fire bar room. Just a big 20. So the rando room. I have chest 10 through 13. Only ever see this in Randomizer. There is no reason to go into this otherwise.
Yep. It's not really anything of value in here when you're playing through this vanilla. But rando, there's 4 chests in here, so it's always worth going in here.
I mean, I'll plainly admit that I explored everything and frequently.
Hey, there's the bombos, and we also got the map to GT. So we now know that this is here. All right, is this the moment we've been waiting for? Is this Trinex on ice? It is Trinex on ice.
Nice. So we did need that ice rod after all, unless it's on the right side, which very well could be. Yeah, this one's definitely not easy. You've got to really maneuver yourself on the ice away from the head that's going to strike at you, and also the other 2 heads will shoot fire and ice respectively.
I was about to say, I hope to see Scaryolive bust out that blue potion. I know he knows he had it, and he was at half heart. So I'm like, oh, don't tempt it. Oh, that's. I think that's the first. Yeah, that counts apparently. And it is on the right side.
So that was 17. We've got 18, 19, 20, 21 in Compass Room, and likely 22 in the Tile Room.
So we've also learned tonight that if you can trick Trinex to clip out of the wall and that Trinex on Ice Fight, it'll open the doors because it thinks he's dead. Which makes sense.
Yeah, most of the other enemies, like the mimics in Pod, will do that, so it makes perfect sense for Trinex to have the same behavior. Game's weird, man.
Yeah. It's just a game that was programmed 30 years ago, and I'm sure the team at probably it was EAD that programmed this up in Kyoto. Very likely never expected. It is also, by the way, it's in Tile Room. But they probably never expected us to break open the game quite like this.
Oh, of course not. Why would you, right? I mean, who would have thought a bunch of 20-somethings and 30-somethings and 40-somethings would just mutilate this game like this 30 years later?
Absolutely. And by the way, Icy Paragon, congrats on... It was unfortunately we didn't get a chance to start the game before Scaryolive hopped right into GT out of Turtle Rock, but it was a guess of 22, so it was indeed the correct number here for Tile Room tonight. It could have been 3 though, if only Scaryolive had just stuck in Tile Room at the very start.
Yeah, very true. He did go into here, but didn't go any further.
We've got a slightly different pattern tonight, of course. Yes, indeed, Willard, this is all dungeons. So, Scaryolive is in GT, but we'll have to hop on out of here in just a little bit to go to probably Aga and then into Swamp Palace.
Yeah, AD, Chaos Shuffle, Boss Shuffle, Randomizer as well to boot, and also Map Compass Shuffle. A lot of shuffling going on here.
Yep, and Tile Room was the big key, so for GT. So it's just been like maximum screwballiness tonight.
Yeah, Mirror was our go mode item on Laser Bridge, so lots of things to talk about.
Scaryolive is having to go through Gauntlet here. A little bit tougher than normal.
Yeah, you can get the Gauntlet down to a science in a regular seed, but once it's Randomizer, all that goes out the window, and you gotta bust out like the Vamos medallion here. Watch out for those little shadows that come out in the previous room.
Scaryolive is actually doing a really good job of getting these bombos times quite right to get everything taken care of all at once. And using it again really nicely in here, they'll do super quick work on those Gibdos. Yeah, probably one more time right here. Oh, no, it's going to use a regular fire rod.
Good call. Alright, Cold Stare. We haven't seen a Cold Stare yet.
Nope. Yes, indeed, Rywick. This is all dungeons. And very nicely done by Scaryolive. About to head upstairs to floor 5, and what normally is the most satisfying room to game part 1, which is not going to be so satisfying tonight, with Shadow Creature and 2 Hinoxes having to deal with that. So, little less.
Canis Mario block is not going to hit one.
Yeah, a little less easy than put down Canis Mario block and win.
Bird on the laser bridge. Mirror is going to be in this third chest. And he officially gets into go mode at 144.01.
Hey, there's that cannon friend again. Haven't seen one of those guys in a while.
Yeah, not since Escape.
Yep. Not since like an hour and a half ago. There's that door shutting for Scaryolive, so no despawn. No problem. Gonna need another key here, though.
Key hidden on that Moldorm. Scaryolive may be looking for those silvers. I don't think he saw the other bow up on Bumper Ledge.
Yeah, he did not.
Between the spikes and the shooters, that Moldorm is evading him. Finally gets him down.
And thankfully not having to deal with the big spike here, just the little one. But he's got some... Oh, yeah, he's still got the bunny beam. Alright, who's behind the door here? It's gonna be another Moldorm.
Number 4.
Yeah. So this is definitely Chaos Shuffle.
Yeah, 28 eyes altogether.
Last chest is gonna be a big 20.
Alright, gonna head up to the Aga 2 fight. This being all dungeons, still needs to do Aga 1 and Swamp Palace. DukeFireBird, having that Canis to Mario from Ice Palace, going to finish out Misery Mire.
Yep. Just has to finish out Mire and probably do Desert Palace back to back with that. But then it's still gonna have to go all the way through GT.
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, Scaryolive is on the Aga 2 fight. That's a triple.
That's a real nice lineup.
I think it was a 2-1-3. Got the LA special there, 2-1-3.
Yep, so as suggested earlier, do Aga 2, do Aga 1, get to Swamp Palace. Oh, this is a very, very friendly room here with the cucumber and the popo.
Another popo and cucumber fight.
Yeah, of all the possibilities in this Hyrule Castle, this is pretty friendly. On to the wizard fight. I guess since we didn't really do a great job at the Ganon Big Key game, guess how many blue balls we're going to get from Aga?
Yes. I'm gonna say 6. I think this seed's being pretty mean tonight, so I think we'll have a couple rounds of Aga 1 here. And then we just get 3 in a row. 4 in a row. You have to prove me wrong, don't you, Seed? Okay, so yeah, 1 more for Scaryolive. And it is 0. Wow.
Big goose egg.
Yep. But there's that teleport back to the Dark World. That Scaryolive needed, and now it will be time to.
We're gonna flute to 4, get to
Yep.
Swamp Palace.
I was gonna say. I didn't know if Scaryolive was just gonna charge down there or gonna use the flute. So, did choose to go the flute route. And Duke's actually heading down there as well. So Duke is going to do... So they're both going to be in Swamp Palace. The difference is going to be that Duke's doesn't have GT and Aga 1 done. And they're both going to know that they need to go mode this, so... So yeah, if you're just tuning in right now and you're looking, you're probably like, "Wow, they're neck and neck. This is really close." Bit of a difference here is that Scaryolive has already been up to take care of the 2 Aga fights, and Duke has not, and that is our time gap right now between these two.
Yeah, between hunting for the Big Key in Ganon's Tower and Tower Room, plus the climb the gauntlet itself, you know, that's a good 8 minutes at least. Maybe more. But this Swamp Palace here, this is going to be pretty quick. You just got to get this 1 key, pound down the hammer, hit the switch, hook shot across the gap, and could see a diver down glitch, which is another recently approved glitch by the Racing Council for racing play. And not draining the water, he is going to set up a diver down. So here, you're going to have to line up the bomb placement just right. You will clip into the railing as such and be able to get these chests and the pots, walk through no problem.
Yeah, I've seen that set up two different ways. Both the bomb, and I've also seen that set up with the Candace Samaria as well. Just as long as you get that clip, that's really what you're looking for. You know, we get a sink. How about that?
Hey, had to happen sometime, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, we still don't know what this boss is going to be. Being Chaos Shuffle could be literally anything here. Tonight, another Argus. All right. Having done all the dungeons, Scaryolive headed into the Ganon fight. Should be fairly quick. We've got a butter sword. We've got half magic. The only thing we're lacking here is silver arrows, which in Tower of Hera in the big chest. And Scaryolive did not get the cape, so could not get the second bow up on Bumper Ledge.
Not necessarily sure it's going to matter too much here. Scaryolive is fairly confident in his abilities to do the silverless. But look at all these warps, though.
Yeah, come on, slow down, man.
Look how.
Wow. Okay, there we go.
Okay, finally we got one. Now we get... Okay. Now begin the spins. Spin to win. Let's see, can Scaryolive do this without taking a fire bat to the face? Nicely timed up. Getting really good timing on these spins. Oh, that was a freeze. Oh, you got fire blocked as well by Translucent Ganon. Oh, the hug. Gotta be careful.
Yeah, I don't know if he has any potions left. Just in case.
That I don't know. He's used one of them. I know he had two. I think he may have used the second one. I'm not totally certain on that, though. I'm trying to remember. But it looks like it's not going to matter.
Yep, takes Ganon down. No problem here with the silverless. Just got to cross that last bridge before getting to the Triforce room, saving Hyrule once again, and Scaryolive finishes with a time of 1 hour, 57 minutes, 44 seconds. GG's to Scaryolive, putting Two Pearl, Two Furious in firm second place in the Lake Hylia division.
Oh, yep. Actually, I think they'll be tied for first at the moment, because they were only 3 points behind Pug Trio. Pug Trio may have another. I think they may have another match, but at least for the moment, they will be tied atop this division. So very tough division, and even with the loss, Immortals is still very much in this.
Of course, and then we do have Scaryolive joining us here in the booth. GG,
Good
Scaryolive.
Thank you.
Hey, Scaryolive, good to talk to you. Normally we do this as a comms pair, but this time as a runner. How are you feeling after that?
Oh, doing okay. I wasn't sure if I was gonna do the race tonight because yesterday around like 2 in the morning I started like having like the hardest tummy ache in the world. I didn't really sleep well, and I was like, am I gonna play? I don't know, but the situation got better. I napped all afternoon, and I said, okay, I'm gonna do it. And I wasn't able to get beer, which is what I do. Normally in the league, I get drunk when I play, but today I couldn't. But still got the win.
I got the win there. Actually, really nice play there from Duke. Doing tile room right off the bat. Now you did the full clear at GT before you were able to go back to tile room and find that the big key was there.
Yeah.
The other thing that we saw you have a little bit of trouble with was the Hera pot. Were you trying to get that in there just to fast clear Tower of Hera, and it just really wasn't lining up for you?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I practice this like all the time. It's not too hard. I get it, but today it just wasn't not working, and it got frustrating, and I kept going. But in a way, it kind of helped me because the bull was there, and I don't know where the other bull was, so I don't know if I would if it helped me to get the key. But yeah, it was really frustrating. I thought I knew I lost 2 minutes for free there, even maybe more, maybe 3 minutes. So I was like, from there I got panicked a little bit, but then I just said, oh, let's chill and finish the seed.
Yep. The other, just to give you a little bit of heads up, the other bow is on Bumper Cave. So we were kind of wondering if the logic of the seed was that was the bow that everyone was supposed to get because of the early cape. Which, by the way, early cape, you get the lamp from Bonk Rocks, and you've got Master Sword. Was there at any time a little bit of worry that this might be like aggro required from the get-go?
Man, I was really thinking it was an Aga seed, and when I got the... Basically, why I did not do Aga when I after Moon Pearl in Desert, it was because I was thinking, like, what am I supposed to do? If I do Dark World, I have only access to, like, Catfish and, like, Pod, but it might be Bolak. Well, in my head, I thought it might be Bolak, but I forgot it's Randomizer a few times in the seed. So I was thinking I need to go in Eastern to find like probably like, I don't know, the hook shot is gonna unlock me the rest of the world. And then when I did Eastern, I forgot it's Randomizer, so I didn't go do the boss because I thought I needed the bow. And then when I found the hammer, I was like, well, okay, no Aga. So that was nice. Well, I almost went to do it. It wouldn't not have mattered too much because it was an all dungeon seed, but it went faster to do it with the boots.
And Duke right now working up the gauntlet here in the Cold Stare fight, the second boss fight. Heading on up to the top of the tower.
So Scary, any thoughts coming into this with a mystery seed? You could get literally anything. You did get a few oddball choices. Chaos Boss Shuffle. You did get all dungeons. What were you expecting and what were you hoping for out of this?
I really like two things in life. Well, three things, but two of those things are swordless runs and cross keys world runs, and I didn't get any of those. But I'm still happy I didn't get inverted, because inverted is the weirdest, stupidest mode. So I was fine with it. I don't really enjoy like all the. It was not Kisan. I mean, it was like a boring mode, I guess, but it's okay. Even like the Randomizer was not like it was like 3 more dorms and stuff. Like no, there was technically you didn't really need to be like a Trinex. So I don't know. It was a bit disappointing. Like, but you do the mystery. You can't choose. You got to do what you got to do. I'm really looking forward to next week, the cross keys week. That's a good mode.
Yeah, tell me who of run this week?
Next week I'm gonna play versus Shireen. It's gonna be on Tuesday at 1 Eastern in the morning. It's gonna be a night race. So that's gonna be nice. And I think Owazi's gonna run versus Dracarys. I don't know when their match is gonna be.
Yep, I'm actually taking a look right now, and I do indeed see that. Scaryolive and Shireen, night crew all aboard the night race train at 1:10 a.m. Eastern on Wednesday. So late night crew. I may have to sign up for that one, if only because of the fact that I usually do a lot of these races since it's not terribly late for me, but never know. Never know. We'll see.
I've been working night shift. I work like rotation, sometimes day shift, sometimes night shifts. But now with the ongoing crisis, I'm doing a lot of night shifts because nobody want to do it. And so I was like, well, we're gonna have to play on the weekend. And he says, well, if it's after midnight, I don't care. Well, all right, let's do it then after work.
Yep, I am actually seeing Dracarys and Os are also playing on Wednesday at 6:10 p.m. Eastern. So both your matches will be on Wednesday.
Nice. I'll try to catch a glimpse of that while I'm working, like on the side. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun. It's gonna be hard, man. The clown parade, they are good at cross keys. Like Dracarys finished second in the cross keys tournament. That happened last year. Shireen, I don't know how much I've never seen really him play cross keys, but I have intel from my good friend Shizame that he's pretty good at cross keys. So if we can 1-1, should be good.
Yep, and Duke just taking down Aga 2 and now working back toward Aga 1 here. So Castle Tower, we're going to be doing a similar routing situation here like you did, going from GT to Castle Tower and then going to do Go Mode Swamp Palace after that, and then straight up into the Ganon fight. So just looks like Duke's going to finish it out. Can't say I blame him, might as well.
Well, it's good for the fantasy league,
Yes.
The people
That's
that root for you gotta reward them with points.
Absolutely.
Also, I think Duke didn't know that he was second because when he he will finish at some point, but when he finished, he said like, "Damn," in the SRL, like when he finished. So I think he just realized when he finished that he had lost. So maybe he closes SRL, so he doesn't know. I do that too. When I get Go Mode, I close my SRL so that I don't get distracted by looking all the time. Am I losing?
Right.
Am I losing?
Yeah, that's the thing that makes sense too. Is you don't really want to be distracting yourself constantly with the idea of having to check every once in a while, and then especially in this game mode with being Randomizer, you don't quite know what you're going to get into some of these rooms, so you may just peel your eyes away for a second and then all of a sudden look back and there's 3 ball and chain guards in there centered upon me, and there's a lineup behind them and I'm dead.
Exactly. So what was the big difference in the routing from
I think just looks like generally and overall you had fewer double dips into dungeons than Duke, and you also got what was it that you found that was a little bit earlier than Duke did? I think you just making the play. Yeah, Fire Rod making that play up to Death Mountain and being able to clear that a little bit earlier, I think, is really a big part of what made the difference here.
All right, yeah. One thing I thought funny was I totally forgot. My plan was to do when I went into pod, I went to kill the boss and I was supposed to go back inside and I just forgot. That could have cost me a lot of time.
Yeah, it's really one of those things. Sometimes you get a little bit, you just get a little bit lucky in the order. You find items being a little more efficient.
Yeah, like I was trying to put ice because I wanted the cane, but at some point I was like, well, I can't finish it. It's a dungeon. Might as well go, and then the cane was there.
And Duke busting out the swag net strats here on Aga 1. Love to see that.
Always
just
cool
love
to see that.
Oh yeah.
And gonna get lucky here again with 0 blue balls from Aga.
0 blue balls, but so many warps there
Yeah, all the warps in the
on
world.
Ganon. So, yeah, it got back to you somehow there. And Duke now into the Ganon fight. Actually, that's right. Forgot that he did Swamp Palace at the same time you did Scaryolive. So he's actually got that done, and he's just finishing this up right now.
Yeah, I'm wondering, did he like went into Turtle Rock, and he couldn't do Ganon Tower after?
No, I think it was just a decision to go do Swamp Palace and then just do one last climb up to GT. And now he's dealing with the warps as well.
Yeah. Cabby says the TR was his 5th crystal, so he couldn't enter Ganon Tower after. So order was different.
Oh yeah, probably because I think Desert and Meyer back to back were 6 and 7.
Yeah, I did those
he-
before because
Meyer- He had done Meyer a lot earlier, and then got the Ether Tablet or Ether Medallion, but didn't have the Samaria Cane. So yeah, he couldn't have done that early.
Yep. So yeah, you went in the Ice Palace before you did that and found Samaria, and that let you clear it in one go.
Yeah, right.
DukeFireBird taking down Ganon with the silver arrows. Just got across again. That 1x3 bridge does so and finishes with a time of 2 hours, 10 minutes, 38 seconds. GG to DukeFireBird.
OMG indeed. And always really nice to see someone go ahead and finish out a season. You don't always see that here in the tournament just because of a lot of people will just forfeit and go on to the next match. But hey, there's nothing wrong with doing this, and it certainly is always awesome to see everyone finish out.
All right, let's see if we can get Duke up here for an interview. And we're joined by DukeFireBird. GG to DukeFireBird.
Oh, thank you.
How you feeling after that one, buddy?
I think my main thing was that I just put off the mountain, and that burned me.
Yeah, I think we were talking with Scaryolive a little bit, and I think we would agree with that. That just having the mountain really, as late as it was, probably was the biggest time difference.
Yep. Also, I have a couple choice words for Ganon. Sir, excuse me, sir.
If it makes you feel any better, Scaryolive also had to deal with the warps.
Oh, I'll bet. Seeing the tracker, where the heck was Bombos at?
It was you made the 1000 IQ play in Gen's Tower and just stayed in Tile Room where the big key was.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, it was in Rando Room. Scaryolive
okay.
Scaryolive did a full wraparound clear. Got the experience.
Yeah.
You didn't get the experience Trinex on Ice Eater apparently.
Oh, there was a Trinex in the scene. Okay.
Yeah, it's the worst place for the Trinex. Like, it's really hard. I had to take a brew potion.
Oh, jeez.
Yep. You did actually get the unique door open there where you actually got Trinex to hop out of the room and unlock the doors.
But I know that if I
nice.
don't kill him, he can chase me in the next room and try to kill me while I open chests. So I didn't.
You're right. I forgot about that.
Also,
Because I've only seen the mold the Landmo Trinex, and I saw it and I see it go up, and I'm like, oh, like if it does that, oh no.
I was very confused when I read the sign on Pyramid because it says you have to defeat all the bosses, and normally when it's all dungeon, I've read before you have to clear all dungeons, so I was not sure. But I think it's an Randomizer change.
No, I think it just says all bosses. I've never seen it say anything else.
Mhm.
But that's just a clue to me, and that's just all dungeons. Collect
Yeah.
all 10 of the prizes and defeat Aga 1.
I was kind of confused. I was like, does it mean like I have to kill all the bosses? Like even I wasn't sure because, and then I checked while I was racing. I went to the website, I went to the past, and I checked the goals to see like if there was something new that I didn't know. But it's just weird. Just weird.
Okay. But
Yeah.
Go on.
I was gonna say, yeah. It's still it's just a pretty tough seed, all things considered. Being able to complete it certainly no easy task. I probably would have tapped out at some point.
Wow.
Now that you're both in the chat, I did have one question for both of you. The cape was on race game, and neither one of you actually got it the first time. Duke, you got it after you saw Bo on Bumper Ledge. Was there any thought for either of you early on, hey, that might actually be needed?
Considering it really only locks one item, granted, yes, it does lock Spike Cave as well, but you also have Burna for that one. But because it's literally a 1-for-1, it's really negligible in my mind.
Yeah, since I had the Master Sword already, I was not too like if I don't have Master Sword, I will take it because I know it might be the Aga opening. But if it was not, I was like, well, if I go see Bumper Ledge and it's something, then it's so near that in 1 of 10 seeds, I will something have on Bumper Cave, so I will save 30 seconds on 9 out of 10. And for me, it did kind of save me time, I guess, because I didn't even check the Bumper Ledge. But since it's Randomizer, maybe it would have been a good idea. Like I was thinking, I was not thinking about the fact that the boss were randomized and stuff. But some rooms, in Randomizer, it can be helpful, like if there's like big spikes and stuff. But I wasn't thinking about that when I saw it, and I thought, well, I've made the choice. I'm not going back to get it.
So Duke, what are your thoughts on next week with Crosskey? Who are the Immortals facing, and who of the Immortals will be facing?
We are actually going to be facing the Yutang clan, and it's going to be myself and Julan Ninja. I believe we're going to be facing Imasaru and Solski, but I'm not 100% on that. We don't have any confirmation yet.
Yeah, it's I mean, we were talking about this earlier within the Lake Hylia division. This is just the number of well-known and very skilled, very, very skilled runners that are in this division alone. This is a stacked group, and even with even not even falling short in this match, unfortunately, you guys are still well within striking distance of playoffs.
Yeah, we are actually tied for third, I believe.
Yep.
I didn't see the result of the last match with Pug Trio, but I'm going to presume they won that. I actually don't know.
Yeah, I haven't checked either, so.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. DFS said they won. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So Pug Trio's at first, and then you guys are second place, and then we are in a 3-way tie for third.
Yeah. So I mean, and with 3 weeks to go, and each of these wins being worth 3 points, it's absolutely absolutely anyone's game. And even Yutang Clan sitting down there at 9 points, if they go on a tear here late, they could certainly cause some trouble as well for some of these teams that are above them. So this is just such a close and such a stacked division that everything, especially these last 3 weeks, everything counts, and very much so in this division.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we know that we all know this. Next week is actually the crunch week, because that's the week where you get to start thinking, okay, you can start seeing the playoff picture starting to take shape. You can start seeing it now, but it really goes into fruition after next week, with only 2 weeks remaining after that week.
Yep. with the with fewer and fewer matches, those gaps become larger and larger and larger because there's less opportunities to make up any deficit.
All right. Any final thoughts from our runners before we close this out? Talk about upcoming matches.
Well, I'd like to say GG to Duke, and I want to say see you next season. I think it was my revenge last season in the league. Season 1, I faced Duke and he beat me. Now I beat him, and let's see if season 3 we can get the best of 3.
Break the tie. Break the
The rubber match, we will be looking forward to that in season 3 between you two. So
Now,
yeah, absolutely.
and watch the week that we get. It's going to be like our worst modes. So it's like, do we really want to face each other?
Oh, absolutely. That's what makes it. That's what makes it so great. Is a rubber match? It's a neutral ground. It's literally you two probably fishing around for 3 hours trying to go through like some kind of insane cross keys randomizer seed, where you're just like, I hate everything about this.
Cross keys, no problem for me. You just don't give me inverted, and everything is fine.
Oh, you don't like inverted? Ooh,
I hate it.
I like inverted. Yeah, let's get an inverted seed for season 3. I like that.
Inverted cross keys. Let's.
Oh God,
really...
inverted cross. That's terrible. Oh man.
Yeah.
You never know. You could face each other in the playoffs this season.
That's
top
true.
3.
That is true. We are all of it. We're all in striking distance. So.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely make sure to follow both Scaryolive and Duke. Both great people, both great runners, both very fun to watch. So definitely give them both a follow here. And of course, want to say thank you to Tabby Cat for tracking and Lumaga for co-coms with me. Make sure to give them a follow as well. And just before we wrap up here, just check the schedule for tomorrow. Only one match for tomorrow. It will be a good one. Friday will give an interview if we wins Akdaboker versus Yoshi's on Skis Gesellschaft. So they'll be on the ALTTPR League, the main channel, at 5:10 p.m. Eastern. So that'll be, I think that's probably going to be the last, based on the scheduling stuff, I think that's the last match of the week for the league. So that'll wrap things up, and those are two very good runners. Looking forward to watching that one as well. And then we kick off our Cross Keys week on Monday at 1:10 p.m. Very first match out of the gate is going to be Ben Creighton versus Erebor. So that will be good. And then we've got matches already a lot of matches lined up throughout the week here. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, of course. Scary told us that his team's 2 matches against Clown Parade will be on Wednesday. So be looking forward to that.
Well, technically mine is on Tuesday, but in the evening. But yeah.
Tuesday
yes.
to Wednesday. Got it.
Yeah, it's in between.
That's true. It'll technically be Tuesday for me when it starts.
It's a 2-day match there.
Right.
But to piggyback off of what Nihan said with all the follows, definitely give the comms a follow, guys. Seriously, I mean, these guys do a lot of work just calming these, and they are a blast to listen to. If you guys heard this one, just try to catch any of the other ones that they're doing, and try to catch as many of the other commentators too. They're all.
Yeah, I agree with Firebird, Duke. Here, the unsung heroes of this is the commentators, the trackers, and the streamers. So thanks everybody.
Yes. Gotta have love for the trackers too, because it is not an easy job.
Oh, absolutely not, especially when you get some of these complex game modes. They can be quite a hassle to check.
I think that might do it for us tonight. So, again, thank you to everybody involved, tracker, commentators, and of course our runners. Stay safe out there, Nihon Tiger. Anything else for you?
Nope. Just as I always like to say, good night, good RNG. Remember, someone out there loves you, and we love you too. And we will see you next time around here. for more of the ALTTPR League Season 2. Tomorrow's the last of the mystery races, and then we get in the cross keys. It's going to be fun.